Hey friend, today we are talking about creating a fun, inspired voice practice that feels less like a chore and more like a singer's playground. So I'm going to give you 5 tips that can absolutely transform your voice practice. So if you're seeking more flow in your singing and creative expression as a whole, join me inside of today's episode. I'll see you there. Welcome to Reawaken Your Voice. I'm Lainey Prendeville Crawford, holistic voice coach, singer, song weaver. I believe the song in your heart holds medicine for yourself and for the world. And yet too often, something happens along the way. We shut down our voice and our song goes unsung. Whether you stopped singing years ago or have always harbored an unrealized dream to start, if you're ready to finally give voice to those unsung songs in your heart, then take my hand as I guide you to free yourself from the inner critic, reignite your creativity, find your courage, sing with confidence, and reawaken those dormant parts of yourself aching for a revival. So dust off your songbooks, tune up your guitar, bust out your singing bowls, your shakers, your drum. Actually, all you really need is your voice, your breath, open ears, and an open heart. Let's play. So when we're just starting to recommit to a voice practice or recommit to this dream of making music and sharing our voice and singing for people, if we have it on a to-do list and treat it like a chore, like I have to do these vocal exercises in the proper way, in the proper order, we're not going to want to do it. Like, let's be real. It feels too rigid, too logical, too left-brained for the creative spirit within us. So instead, if we make it playful and make it fun and intuitive and creative, like getting to this experimental and explorative place, then we're more likely to get lost in our art. You know what I'm talking about? Like that time warp where you're just in the zone and you lose all sense of space and time and you are just fully immersed in this pocket of like juicy creative energy. Like you're in this beautiful bubble floating through outer space, and it's just you and your voice, you and the music, you and your creativity. If we can access that space, we tap into this natural desire to make music. Like we can't get to that space if it's in our head as a chore. So rather than approaching it from a place of discipline, I like to think of it as a devotion. A devotion. That feels like it's from the heart. It kind of weaves in that more right brain that I love to live. I love to live in that place. But yes, we need all of it. And that discipline will come into play. But we need to play first. So I'll be sharing with you some of my favorite ways to activate my voice and access that creative flow. Kind of spice up my voice practice and get out of my head and into my body This is all about vocal play and embodiment. So these 5 tips or ideas are really just the beginning, because I've got a whole treasure trove to share with you, trust me. But this will help you get you started and opening that creative channel and rediscovering the joy of singing, perhaps in a new way, perhaps in a way that feels familiar and nostalgic. Who knows? But this is a way to tap into that natural desire you have as a human to create and to play. There were times in my life when I was singing and making music in some form, like all day long, for hours on end. And then there was a long, dark period of time when I wasn't singing at all. And so I would get to this point where I thought, well, what happened to that person who was fully immersed in the music and living and breathing it? Like, why don't I feel like singing? Where is that natural desire I once had that was so ingrained in me? Like, it was almost automatic. It was just a given. That's just what I did. It was just a part of me. It was who I was. It's just what I do. Like, what happened to that person? Where did she go? So in trying to get back into it, I would write it in my planner, like, okay, I'm going to do my voice practice. I'm going to do my vocal warm-ups, put it on my list of things to do. And, sometimes I would set out to do like a 40-day practice or something. And then I wouldn't do it. And I'd feel so uninspired and exhausted. I'd just I couldn't focus if the house wasn't spotless first. And then I'd go watch Netflix instead. And this cycle would further erode my confidence in myself. So I'd question myself, like, well, how do I actually get myself to do this? And why do I feel like I have to get myself to do this? This is like my passion, my joy, my heart. Well, the truth is, I was avoiding it. It felt like a chore. I was judging myself through the warm-up and picking myself apart. And it was just exhausting. It didn't feel good. Like, of course, I didn't want to step into that place of judgment as I went into my voice practice. Like, okay, time to warm up my voice and think about all the reasons I hate the way it sounds today. And then the same old classical warm-up exercises just felt boring and uninspiring. They started to feel rote, like meaningless exercises that someone said I had to do. So I was just doing what I was told. That did not feel like music. There was no life in that process. If I had to do all that before getting to the songs that were actually inspiring, actually creative and life-giving, if in order to get into the music, I had to trudge through this muck begrudgingly, I could never get to the point where the music took over, where I'd enter that playground of creative flow and fresh inspiration. My voice was feeling heavy and sluggish. it was like the weight of my thoughts was impeding the agility of my instrument. Everything in my head was getting in the way of creative flow and that natural desire to sing. So I tried approaching it from a different perspective. One of play and exploration rather than structure. One of devotion rather than discipline. And that simple shift transformed my creative practice as a whole. So here are 5 tips to tap into that creative flow and access the natural desire to sing. So you can liberate yourself from that cycle of feeling like you have to force yourself to do something you don't want to do, and then beating yourself up for not doing it, even though it's something you love doing and want to do more of. What a conundrum. I pray that these ideas will help you integrate an inspired, holistic voice practice into your life with joy and ease. So, number 1, improvise your own vocal warm-up exercises. Like, rather than doing the classical vocal exercises, improvise your own. Perhaps start with a bit of a scale or some triads and then make it your own. Like, tap into that energy, that essence that you feel when you are in it, when you are, maybe for you it's when you're on stage, or maybe for you it's when you are in your little happy place in your home with your guitar singing a song that just feels like butter. Why butter? I don't know. That's just what came to me, okay? And then let it evolve. Let it become something else as you're just following that inner compass, like tapping into that frequency where you can just ride that train. You know what I mean? You're tapping into your own creativity to access flow, to get your body into it, to allow the music inside of you to take over. You know, this touches on the inner journey of finding your own voice. I truly believe that vocal exploration is self-exploration. You're exploring who you are as a creator, as an artist, as a singer, as a human being. As you allow it to evolve and change and shift and expand from a simple exercise into a living, breathing creation, you're making it your own. You're tuning into your instrument. So think of it like as you're tuning your voice, your physical instrument, you're tuning in. You're listening for what it needs. You're warming up to it and easing your way in. This can look like vocal toning on vowels, vocal play. Think like E, A, A, O, U with different consonants in front of it. Like, I love using voiced consonants like M and N that really bring the sound forward and kind of give you a springboard into the vowel. Like you're starting out with these vowels and kind of making things up as you go along, adding in some consonants and hey diddly dee ma hoa hoa. I don't know, like let it take over. You can also use a phrase or a short melody from a song that you're really feeling at the moment, and you can move that little phrase up and down the scale. Now I'm going to walk you through this in my special free gift that I have for you, but I'm kind of giving you some ideas to play with here. And then if you want to go deeper with these and you want me to fully guide you through the process, I've got just the thing. Stick around till the end. I'll tell you all about it. But as you play with the vowels and different sounds and like non-words, and maybe words come through that. I mean, there is no limit to what your creative spirit wants to kind of weave into this. But begin in a comfortable place around your speaking voice, like that pitch level, and then kind of expand from there. Gradually extend beyond just that like mid-voice area. And this is lighthearted play. The voice as a playground. You can make goofy, silly noises without trying to sound good or pretty or refined. You're just letting go of control, letting go of inhibitions, letting go of, think of it like you're coloring outside of the lines. Allow yourself to be free. Number 2, moving your body like you're dancing the warm-up. You're connecting your voice with your body, with your inspiration, with your life force energy to get out of your head and into your body, to access the heart, the spirit, the soul of the voice and of the music. So as you're kind of playing with these, the vocal toning, notice how your body wants to move for each one. Like, does it feel light and flowy or weighted and strong? Like maybe you want to do some stomping, like get your whole body into it. You're stomping your feet, and maybe it's your hips that kind of want to do some circles or some, figure eights or infinity symbols, however you see it. Maybe your arms want to go wild. Follow your body. Like your body knows what it needs, what it wants, and that's going to help you unlock your voice. Freeing this space in your body and getting that tension to release. Like you're getting unstuck in the body, loosening up. That's going to translate. Yeah, that's going to translate directly to your voice. We are bypassing the conscious mind to access the subconscious when we are moving the body to free the voice. Or as you're doing these repetitive exercises up and down the scale, even, as they're creative and improvised, if you are allowing them to become part of you and fully like integrating them into your body, you get into this zone, you get into this kind of trance where the music starts to take over, the rhythm starts to take over, and it becomes part of you. Like the heartbeat of the music joins with your heartbeat and they play together. It's beautiful. Number 3, practice with a drone. Oh, this is so fun. So a drone, if you're unfamiliar with this term, a drone is just a long sustained tone, just one all the way, just that note, like continuously. This can be on a recording. This can be something that you create with your instrument. Like I have a harmonium that I love to use as a drone and, just create that long sustained tone that I can sing with. Some other stuff, you can do this with the vacuum cleaner. Definitely done that before. Or just some environmental sounds like the hum of the air conditioning, or the possibilities are endless here. But the drone is this long sustained tone that you can sing on top of or underneath, like play around with, starting on that pitch and then moving a little bit away from it and coming back, moving a little bit further away, leaping from it and then coming back, stepping away, stepping back, play. Now, if you're using your own instrument, that will require some coordination and a little more thought, but it definitely rewards you with this full immersion in the embodiment of the music. Because you're physically creating the drone as well as the vocal part. But there's also something to be said about leaving the drone up to someone or something else and just fully focusing on the voice. So you can play with all of these ways of using the drone and see what speaks to you. See what resonates with you. And, I do different ones at different times. So there's good stuff in there in every single way of doing this. Anyways, number 4. Play with your voice in a place with amazing acoustics. I mean, it's just like a natural desire when you're in a place with good acoustics. You just want to make sound. But maybe it's the shower, or maybe it's like a gazebo, or like a chapel, or a pagoda, or a cave. Get creative and have fun with it. Maybe a tunnel. If you're in the city, you're like walking along a creek and there's a tunnel. This is so fun. This really taps into the adventurer in me. So have fun with this one. Play and explore. Number 5. This one's so important. Give yourself grace. Give yourself the grace to be messy and clumsy with it. This is less about how it sounds and more about how it feels. You're releasing the tension in your body. You're opening up your voice. You're letting go and getting unstuck. So watch out for that inner censor that wants to be too careful. And instead, allow yourself to be wild and untamed. That is the space of play where you can really tap into the magic of your voice. And remember, we're going for small wins. It's okay to ease yourself in. It's also okay to dive in. Like, what kind of a person are you at the swimming pool? Do you gently dip your toe in and like ease your way down the ladder? And then like hold your arms above your above your head as you tiptoe around. Okay, that's just me. That's me. I'm that person. Or do you just dive in? You get on that diving board and you're like, let's go, head first. I'm doing this. So make it your own. Do it your way. Follow that inner voice and listen to the way your creative spirit wants to play. Starting small and moving toward your voice practice just becoming a part of you. Like it's just something you do because it's who you are. That's what we're moving towards, but we can move towards that with these small steps. So try setting a timer for 10 minutes to begin. And if that feels like too much, try 5 minutes. Like make it your own, do it your way. Maybe you do 10 minutes of these improvised warm-ups, 10 minutes of vocal toning, 10 minutes of singing with a drone, and just accomplish that. And when that's complete, after that, you can set your own intention. If you want to do this daily or weekly or 3 times a week, or do a 40-day practice. Just be gentle with yourself and watch out for that all or nothing mentality. Because we know that can creep in if we let it. So if you want me to guide you through this practice and actually give you some examples, give you a taste of what this could look like for you, I have just the thing. I created this free gift for you. These vocal embodiment exercises are going to help you get out of your head and into your body through your voice so you can access that creative flow that you are longing for. So the link for that is in the show notes, and you'll receive that directly in your inbox if you put your email in. And you'll also get to join my email list so that we can do more of this. Hey friend, thank you so much for listening. If this episode unlocked something in you or moved you in some way, I'd be so grateful if you'd leave me a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're streaming this, and share this episode with a friend who's been praying for a vocal breakthrough. Until we meet again, keep nurturing that song in your heart. Lots of love.